Hello, 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 and welcome to Transistor. It has been far too long. We're gonna get this thing finished. Now, ordinarily what I'm going to show you all today is something that I would save until the very end, but I want to finish this on a very specific note, and that means that the bonus material and other supplemental stuff comes before the actual finale. Now today we're going to be doing two things. First thing is debug mode. Now, turning on debug mode is fairly trivial if you know what to look for. It's a single line of code. You just have to change a 0 to a 1. Or if you're like me and you don't feel like hunting, you can just go download a cheat engine. It's not that difficult. So first of all, I'm going to turn it on. And now that it's engaged and I've messed around with a couple of other things just to make everything look right, we're going to start exploring all of the features. There's no obvious menu commands for debug mode. They are all keyboard combinations. First thing we have to do before we're allowed to do anything else is get a proper loadout. And there it is. Control and U gets us 4 random primary functions. So, it's not the best loadout possible, but frankly, that's never going to matter.
Okay.
You also have to make sure that that's the first thing you do, always without exception, because if you go into the access point without doing that, you will actually lock yourself in there because you'll have no functions and no memory available, so it won't let you leave. Now let's just get us some more functions. Wait, no, fuck. Okay. That was wrong. That just puts you on the screen. That's not what we want. So yeah, we can get us a new loadout. We can go back into the access point to get everything back to where we were. And now what we actually want to do is give ourselves a level up. Just shift and up. You can get as many level ups as you want. Now, as I said before, that's never actually going to matter because we have other things in mind. For instance, doesn't look like anything's changed, but I have engaged God mode. Feature number 1, super speed. We can zip around faster than the game can handle, quite frankly. And to show off the rest, we need to get into a fight.
Okay, there's a... Wait. Back.
Now what kind of God mode would it be if you could actually take damage? Excellent idea. And let's really get away with them, because after all, what use does a god have for arena boundaries? You can just go wherever you want. It's cool. Just gonna confuse their AI a bit, hide in the back, and then we can get over here. And now I have a couple of options for getting rid of them. No, wait, that's the kill self button, not the kill them button. Right. This one.
They're gone, but so is this whole block.
And that's that. So that's the gist of God mode. The kill command isn't related to God mode, that's just Control-Shift-Y. But I don't feel like going through the rest of this level, so let's go somewhere else. Just gonna hit F1, and we got the teleport menu, all the different maps. So what sounds good? Well, hey now, there's this weird one up here at the top. What is this? Oh, shit. Do over. Okay. Ooh. Okay, let's try that one more time before this place starts to implode on us. That's not the video. The game is doing that. What sounds good? What sounds good? What sounds good? Gold Walk sounds good. Let's go to Gold Walk.
Poor bike. Just 10 more blocks to the set.
Alright, now, I got more to show off, so first things first, give us a proper loadout, and turn on God mode. Let's get moving.
They beat us here.
Sometimes they have trouble recognizing your presence if you're in God mode. It's funny. Also,
Maybe not.
with the typical browser zoom controls, you can zoom in Transistor. It's pretty nice.
Down for the count.
You can also zoom out. Things get hard to see after a point. Also, going into focus just resets it. Now I could keep killing these things, but that's tedious and I don't care, so
They were waiting.
you just go ahead and die.
Thought we made good time too.
Oh, what else, what else, what else? There's this little number right here. Just an FPS display. Doesn't really matter. If you're into that kind of thing, it's cool. But, I mean, I'm not, so let's just turn it off. Next item, and you're going to want to keep your eyes open for this one, are the special effect and bloom settings. I can move through all the different special effects that apply over top of the screen, and frankly a lot of them are hard to see because I am mashing through all the options right now and it doesn't look like anything's happening. Oh, the snow's alright. Snow can happen. And then we move on to the bloom. The bloom, I don't know the technical definition of bloom, but this feels more just like filters, lens filters. They get pretty out there once you get far enough into the list. Either way, it's neat to see all the different lighting effects that the game has available. I'm just gonna hop through them until I find one that looks good. Let's see here. Come on, give me something crazy. There we go. That looks good. That's real easy on the eyes. Alright, let's keep moving.
Never seen Gold Walk cleared out. Wait, want to check the channel back there?
No, I think we're good. Now, here's a funny little thing about God mode. Remember how I said that the game really can't handle your speed sometimes? Yeah, you just straight up can't pick up cells on certain occasions. Now, fortunately,
Just pass
you
it.
can kill cells with the kill command. Okay, let's get out of this map. I'm just going to use the reset map command so we can start things over real quick. And then, I mean, we just saw enough of this place. How about we just move on to the next one? We've got a skip map command. It's cool. Let's just get out of here. Funnily enough, if the exit to an area is outside of the area you're actually able to get
wearing
to,
comfortable shoes.
you'll wind up there and then have to walk back to the actual transition command point.
Here we are.
Now, we all know what's at the end of this stage, so let's just get straight to
When
the
I first saw
point,
you
shall
up on
we?
that stage back there, it was like she's here. Look
Being
who
in
it
God
is.
mode tends to break certain programmed animations. Red doesn't automatically walk up to Sybil, and now I'm kind of screwing around and running around outside of the map borders because I couldn't find my way up to the stage. So I'm gonna kill God mode, come on back, and then we can get into it. Now, of course, Sybil is super scary, but
She must have felt that.
I mean, I don't give a fuck.
She's back. Sybil. Round 3.
Now, unfortunately, my flippancy broke the scripting of the fight. I am mashing the kill command right now, and these creeps are not dying. They are completely unkillable. So, I mean, this is broken. I can't win. I just have to leave. Let's get some peace and quiet.
Wonder if things are still going on out there while we're in here.
Okay, and this, more or less, is where we'll be finishing things out. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off God mode so I can
what's
move
this?
regularly. And then, well, I want to get into the practice area, but weirdly enough, all the doors are closed in here, so I'm going to have to use the teleport menu to get in there. Now, what the hell is that place named? No, that's
What do
wrong.
we have this time?
Is it? It's not timed. Can't be checkmate. Is it demolition? It's gotta be it. It's just weird. Why would they name it that?
We can come here for practice.
Well, whatever. Well, at this point, this video is going to turn more into a podcast than it is a Let's Play. I said we were doing two things. That right there is the end of debug mode.
Looks real enough.
For the rest of the video, I am going to give my final thoughts. Again, ordinarily I would save this for during the credits roll, but this game actually has some pretty nice credits and I don't want to talk over them, so we're doing this here. Now, first of all, talking about the Let's Play itself, this was certainly the longest thing I've ever done, both in terms of how long individual updates took, with a couple of them taking 14 hours to do a pop, and with just how long it's taken me to finish. One thing I'm not going to say is an apology for how long it took. I don't believe in apologizing for life happening, you know? But I had a lot of fun making this Let's Play. It was difficult in some places. It didn't get a lot of attention, but frankly, I enjoyed making it, and that's really all that matters to me. Now, on to the game itself. Transistor is an odd duck, especially when you compare it to Bastion, its predecessor. It's a game that I think suffers from too much, or rather, not enough of substance. I think that's a better way to put it. There's certainly a lot more to Transistor than there is to Bastion, but I feel like a lot of it doesn't really matter or doesn't add up to much. There's a lot more music in Transistor than there was in Bastion, but none of it's really quite as standout as any of Bastion's songs. Your loadout is far more customizable, and that was really the big draw of the game over all else, but I mean, frankly, a lot of the possible loadouts are really useless. Cull as a function, I just don't understand the purpose of. It's a big hit, and that's all. The upward displacement is pointless. By the time the animation finishes, the process has already hit the ground again and is moving. There's no point to it. And then a lot of the combinations, they don't serve any purpose either. It's nifty, it's an interesting novelty to be able to shoot a robot with a poison dart and banish it to the Shadow Realm for a couple of seconds, but that doesn't do anything, it doesn't mean anything. A lot of the upgrades that are possible are just, you know, tiny incremental things that don't really matter. You know, so what if my function hits for more damage on the backstab? So what if it costs slightly less for turn programming or shoots slightly faster? There's a lot of combinations, but I wouldn't even say half of them are interesting or meaningful. And once you get past sort of the facade of the enormous amount of customizability, there isn't a lot to the game at all. Once you get good at the game, it's really only just like 2 hours long, maybe 2.5. New Game Plus doesn't really matter. The fights are slightly bigger and marginally more difficult, but once you beat it the first time, there's nothing more to it. You're done. And the game never really changes. All the fights are exactly the same unless you have certain specific limiters applied, but even then, the difference isn't really noteworthy. There was sort of a promise of something interesting at the start of New Game Plus 1 when Royce's voice comes out of the transistor, but that ends up not amounting to anything at all. It's just a stinger to get you hyped up for something that never actually happens. And I feel like that's a good way to encapsulate a lot of the game. There's a lot of hype and a lot of setup, but not a lot really happens. There could have been a lot more to this game. A few more enemy designs. The level 4 that I mentioned in the episode with New Vegas could have introduced new wrinkles to the process. I also feel kind of cheated about the bosses. Sybil got me really hyped up about dealing with the rest of the Camerata, and then there was just nothing to them. Royce was an interesting fight, but he's also really trivial once you understand him. And the other two just weren't a fight at all. There was no point. There was a build-up, and then the climax was just nothing. Now, I'm dumping on this game, but I do like it. I've played a lot of hours of this game. I wouldn't have Let's Played it if I didn't love it, but at this point, I really feel like I've seen basically everything there is to see. As fondly as I regard this game, I honestly don't think I'm coming back to it again, at least not anytime soon. I've experienced Transistor for everything that it is. And, that's fine. Not every game has to go on forever, but I sort of had the expectation that this game would go on a lot longer than it actually did. And maybe I was wrong for that. Maybe my expectations were bad. But, I feel like this game's a lot of wasted potential. Supergiant has another game coming out in the near future, and I hope that they've learned from the mistakes of Transistor. They're a development team with a lot of potential, and I really want them to live up to it. And now that I'm done talking about all of that negativity, let's finish up with some thank yous. Like I said before, this wasn't an enormously popular Let's Play, but there were people who watched and people who enjoyed. I want to thank everybody who engaged with this little endeavor of mine. There weren't many of you, but I love each and every one of you, and I want to thank you. I want to thank my guests. I want to thank Kaz. I want to thank Kalon. I want to thank New Vegas. I want to thank all the different people who posted in my thread. I want to thank Pleasing Fungus, Dumb Rodent, Rinway, Dabir, Dotchan, Oski, Messiah for Hire, Glazius, Spooky Electric, Chaos Draken, Gotta Stay Fi, Malachus, HMS Boromir, and Pinechild. And then I also want to thank everybody who commented on the videos and liked it. I don't have all of your names because I was doing some account maintenance and a lot of it got deleted, so the only name I have is Ender Yeah. But for the rest of you, thank you very much, and I'm sorry I don't have your names. I do this for myself, but I also do it for all of you, and it means a lot to me when you engage with me and enjoy my work and express your enjoyment. And from here, there's nothing really more to say. I'm not going to have any sort of sign out in my finale. I'm just going to have the finale. So this is this is the end. Thank you all for watching Transistor. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you if and when I come back and make another.